I'm Buddy Rat. This is episode 22 of Mark and Joe's Baseball Podcast. And we're going to have fun today because it is someone's birthday. Hit it, Mark. Woo! Let's have fun today. We're going to have fun, episode 22, everyone. Can't wait. Mark and Joe will be here momentarily for a fun-filled show. So let's give it up and give it to your hosts, Mark and Joe, momentarily. I'll be back later with more. Buddy, out. Okay, everyone. Thanks for Buddy the Bat for a nice intro. He's being a little pesky today. Hopefully he can behave the rest of the show. Yeah, enough for me, buddy. He's being pesky right now. He's trying to take advantage of us today. So, yeah, someone's birthday. Can't tell you what until Baseball Birthdays segment coming up here in a few minutes. Also, baseball history, and also a discussion about baseball teams we think will make the playoffs this year that weren't there last year.
Yeah.
Fun segments today for Mark and Joe's Baseball Podcast, episode 22.
Okay.
Coming up next.
Starting right now. Let's go. Start it.
Thanks, Joe. You and Buddy the Bat, maybe you need to have a timeout together, I guess. So, yeah, like Joe said, Baseball Birthday is coming up in a moment. Okay, everyone, here we are with our first official segment on June 12th, 2026. Baseball Birthdays is my day for Baseball Birthdays today. Start us out with former New York Yankee and World Series champion Hideki Matsui, former Yankees outfielder. Also, Sean Newcomb, pitcher in Major League Baseball. And last but not least in baseball, Aaron Savali. And then also we have another birthday special on June 12th, 2026. This guy, Joe, sit up a bit. Joe here, 31 years young today. How are you celebrating your birthday today, June 12th?
How?
Yeah, how are you celebrating your birthday today on June 12th?
Well, I'm going Cougar games.
Okay, Kane County Cougars.
Cougars, you see that?
Yeah, I'm wearing a hat too, open tonight hat. So yeah, we're going to the game tonight. Have some great seats. We might have some videos on our own channels, not here on Mark and Joe's Baseball Podcast, unfortunately, because we can't do that. I don't think we're going to have videos on the channel here on Mark and Joe's Baseball Podcast, but we will have on our own channels, most likely. So
a food video too.
Yeah, food reviews too. Yeah, food reviews too. So yeah, we're going to have a few videos on our own channels. You can catch me at Mark's Cards Reviews and Predictions, and you can catch Joe at where at?
Goomba Joey.
Yeah, Goomba Joey. There you go. Thanks for watching those channels, and thanks for everyone who's subscribed here too, and there, wherever you're subscribed. So yeah, baseball birthdays. Happy birthday, everyone! Right now, right?
Yeah.
Including Joe, including you. Baseball history coming up next. Over now, it's time for baseball history. Joe has baseball history today. So, Joe, take it away.
So it's kind of a baseball history of baseball birthday,
Yeah.
but it's not a birthday. It's kind of a history kind of thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
On June 12th, 1939, started the first year of the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
Nice.
And also, in 1937, it started the first regular season game in regular season game in regular season early game in 1997.
Yeah. First Major League game in 97.
Interleague.
Interleague game. Wow, nice. That's awesome. That's really cool history. I did not know that about Cooperstown in the Hall of Fame. So thank you, Joe, for that. For baseball history, coming up next, we have something cool to talk about. Talk about playoffs. Really? Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Thanks for the rant, Jim Mora. Okay, everyone, we're back. It's time to talk about playoffs, 2026 Major League Baseball, with it being the middle of June here on June 12th, 2026. it's time to talk about Major League Baseball playoffs. Teams that were not in the playoffs last year that will be this year. And I've come up with a list of 3 teams and why I think they're going to make the playoffs this year. First of all, first team I think, if you watched our new series we do, which we'll have premiering every Saturday, which will have episode 2 starting this Saturday, which will be our weekly headlines. If you watched our first episode, I talked about the Atlanta Braves being a team that can make the playoffs this year with 40 plus wins right now. A team that I think will have 60 plus at the All-Star break. The Atlanta Braves, one of those teams I think they'll make the playoffs that did not make it last year, have a big lead over the Phillies in the National League East division race. The Phillies, one of those teams. Another team, the Chicago White Sox. First place, Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, I think the White Sox make the playoffs.
Remember back, I think earlier this year, back before the season started, Joe, you picked the White Sox. You said they're going to be in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I did.
And look where they're at, June 12th, in first place. Going into June 12th, hopefully, when you see this. So who knows what's going to happen the rest of the year. And then here's the thing. The St. Louis Cardinals, as a Cardinals fan, I'm surprised the Cardinals are sticking around. They've proven they can play baseball with the major league teams after being a last place team the last couple of years in the bottom of the National League Central. Overall, Cardinals, what do you think about the St. Louis Cardinals? They've on a 6-game winning streak right now. In second place behind the Brewers.
Yeah.
Cardinals, they can look like they could be a team this year, and I don't think they're going to make it. White Sox and Cardinals are the 2 teams I don't think that are going to make it. Personally, I don't think these 2 teams make it at the beginning of the year, but look at where they're at on June 12th. Both doing good. Cardinals have a wild card spot, I think, at the moment in the National League. And because the rest of the National League, the Phillies have the other one, and I would say the Padres are there, but the Diamondbacks are also with the Padres, but I think the Padres mostly have that final spot right now. The season ended today. So, who knows? What do you think, Joe? Which out of those 3 teams, which team do you think is going to have the most success coming up until the rest of this month and before until the All-Star break?
I think the White Sox.
White Sox? I think the Braves are going to make a big impact. 60 plus wins potentially. We still have half of the June to go, and they're going to potentially be at 50, I think, at the end of this month. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, I think. So, really cool. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. We have our baseball picks coming up next. Our weekly picks. Who are picking from now until July 6th or so. Or July 7th when we have our next episode. Because Joe's leaving us in a few weeks. Right, Joe?
Yeah.
So, we'll talk about that at the end of the show why he's leaving us. Coming up. Okay, everyone, welcome back. Here are our picks that we had, our recap of the picks we had for the last month or so. I forget the date we had episode 20, unfortunately, when we did episode 20. So I'm just doing it from May 12th through the June 12th date for the picks. So the situation is this. Joe had Mike Trout of the Angels, who hit 4 home runs and had 4 home runs in the last month since May 12th. And he picked Sean Burke as his pitcher for the White Sox, who went 1-0 in 5 starts. 1-0 in 5 starts as a pitcher in that time span since May 12th. Who knows?
He's not that great. He's not winning that much.
Yeah. And my player I picked Shohei Ohtani for my pitcher and my hitter. And his pitching time span since May 12th, he went 4-0, 1 no decision, which came on June 10th, yesterday, or as the time of the recording of this. And since May 12th, he's also hit 6 home runs. So that leaves us with our picks from June 12th until July 6th or 7th, whenever we film next, from whenever episode 23 comes at you. Joe, who you're going with? Tell us who you're picking with. You're going with the south side of Chicago this time around, right?
Yeah, my pitcher, Anthony Kay.
Yeah, Anthony Kay. Interesting pick.
And my hitter, Chase Maladroth.
Okay, good. Nice picks. Well, here's the deal on my end. I'm sticking on the south side for one of my guys, but I'll tell you, my pitcher, I'm picking Paul Skeens for the Pirates this month. And then for Brandon Montgomery, I'm going with him, the rookie for the White Sox, who hit his first career home run as a walk-off on 80s night, the other night, on 80s night on the South Side. So that's my hitter. We'll see how long he lasts. Let's hope he doesn't get sent down to the big league minors. So we'll see what happens. Those are our picks. Coming up, we wrap the show up, and we'll be back to wrap it up in a moment. Okay, everyone, before we end the show today, let's finish it off and talk about this last episode until at least early July. Unfortunately, there's a reason why. Joe is leaving us next week, unfortunately. Where are you going?
Ciao, Italy.
Ciao, Italy. Well, yeah, he's going to Italy next week on Friday, the 19th. So I'll be without him for a while, which means I'll have to run the channel solo by myself. I'll have the weekly headline show that we did. What do you think? What do you think about the first weekly headline episode that we did?
That's good.
It's YouTube Shorts, weekly headlines each week. That way, if we don't do an episode of our podcast, you get weekly headlines from me every week, or one of us from me every week. I'll be doing those.
No,
I'll be doing those. So we'll have our second episode come up this week. We have pretty good topics for this week that I'm narrowing down and trying to figure out which topics I want to do. That'll be on Saturday. Not sure when. Saturday afternoon at some point. So can't wait to do that. We'll have a few of those episodes while Joe's gone. I think 1 or 2 maybe while he's out of town. So that should be fun to see. Hoping there's the same amount of reception we got on the first one with over 900 views. So we'll see. Did have one comment. One person said "Go Braves" on it. So at least we have Atlanta Braves fans chiming in on the channel lately. Hoping for more subscribers that way too. Because
Booper.
Yeah, Blooper, the Braves mascot. Yeah, maybe he'll join us someday.
Maybe commented. Maybe that's him commenting.
Buddy, the bat. Well, you want to say goodbye? Bye. Bye-bye. I'll see you next time. Yeah, Buddy says he'll see you next time, maybe. Maybe we'll have a special episode while Joe's gone. So maybe we'll have Blooper come on and make picks for Joe. Do you mind if that happens, or someone come on and make picks for you? RJ wants you want RJ to make picks. Roy Jr. Okay, maybe I'll have to talk to him about that. He's going to be double duty, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see you all in a few weeks. Maybe July 6th or 7th will be episode 23, maybe. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see you then. You know what to do. Bye for now. Have a good day, everyone. We'll see you next time, and peace out. Bye.